Hello students, Professor Nugent here. In this video we're going to discuss over-identification restrictions for testing the instrumental variable's exogeneity assumption, that is, the assumption that the excluded instruments are uncorrelated with the error in the structural equation. We have seen that relevance is easily testable through the first stage equation. Now, the exogeneity assumption is harder to test, but given that we have more instruments than endogenous regressors, we can test whether some of the excluded instruments are uncorrelated with the structural error U1. So if we have Q extra instruments, given Q extra instruments, we can do the following to test the exogeneity assumption. First, we will estimate the structural equation by two-stage least squares. Obtain the residuals. U1 hat. 2. Regress U1 hat on all exogenous variables. And obtain the R squared. Let's call this R squared 1. Under the null hypothesis that all instrumental variables are uncorrelated with U1, N times R1 squared is distributed chi squared Q, where Q is the number of instrumental variables from outside the model less the total number of endogenous explanatory variables. So Q is the number of extra instrumental variables. If N R1 squared exceeds the chi squared Q critical value, we reject the null and conclude that at least some of the instrumental variables are not exogenous. That's it for over-identification restrictions and instrumental variables analysis.